Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a real workhorse for securing and managing your VoIP networks. We're talking about the RSBC30 Session Border Controller. Now, we all know that balancing flawless voice quality with rock-solid security is no small feat, but the RSB30 is quite literally built to do exactly that. So let's jump right in, see how it ticks, and walk through how to actually set this thing up. Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to start by meeting the RSB330. Move straight into the basic and advanced configurations, take a good look at call status and stats, and then wrap things up with logs, tools, and general maintenance. Okay, so where does this thing actually sit? Think of the RSBC30 as the ultimate gatekeeper and traffic director for your infrastructure. It drops right in between your SIP server and your internal network. Its main job? Handling the encryption and decryption of your signaling and media streams, making absolutely sure those communications are secure before they ever hit your IP-PBX or your internal phones. Now, for a compact unit, the capacity on this device is honestly pretty wild. We're talking support for up to 200 registered users, and the best part? That applies whether those communications are fully encrypted or entirely unencrypted. It can smoothly handle 20 unencrypted concurrent sessions or 10 encrypted ones. So for small to medium enterprise deployments, it's just incredibly robust. But look, we all know capacity means absolutely nothing if the voice quality is garbage, right? In the VoIP world, latency is public enemy number one, so the crucial stat to remember here is speed. The RSBC30 boasts a packet forwarding latency of under 30 milliseconds. That lightning-fast processing guarantees flawless voice quality and seamless network failover support without any noticeable lag to the end user. All right, let's actually get into the web GUI. It's super straightforward. Just open up your browser and navigate over to the default IP, which is 192.168.240. Drop in the default credentials. It's just admin for both the username and password. Punch in the verification code and log right in. Once you're in, you'll see the layout is really clean. You've got your main menu bar running right across the top, giving you access to network, ITSP server, service port, and then your central configuration area is right below that. So let's jump right into the initial setup. Heading over to the Network tab, this is where you'll set up your ETH1 factory default port with your IP, netmask, gateway, and DNS. But hey, quick heads up on a really crucial rule from the docs. If you end up utilizing multiple Ethernet ports on the RSBC30, you have to ensure their addresses are on completely different network segments. Seriously, putting them on the same segment will cause immediate routing nightmares, so keep them separate. Next, we tell the RSBC30 exactly who it needs to talk to by setting up the SIP servers. You can add up to 5 of them here, and you'll just need an IP address and UDP port for each. Now pay super close attention to the sending response to our port option. Normally, you'd probably enable this to send responses back to the exact sending port. But if you are deploying this alongside a Huawei Softco environment, you specifically need to select No for this parameter. It's a tiny detail, but it's an absolute game changer for smooth integration. Once you've got those SIP servers locked in, we tie them directly to service ports. And this right here is where the magic of network failover happens. You can actually associate up to 2 backup SIP servers to a single service port. If you enable the heartbeat function, the RSBC300 is going to automatically fail over if your primary goes down, and then it'll seamlessly fail right back the second it recovers. Moving on to the Advanced tab, we get into System Configuration. Basically, this is where you lay down the law for your network traffic. By specifically setting the minimum UDP port and defining the range for the RTP ports, you are dictating exactly where the actual voice media streams are allowed to flow through the device. Okay, wait. Before we leave the Advanced tab, there is one absolutely crucial setting you cannot miss. You have got to set the RTP proxy radio button to Yes. If you leave it set to No, the actual RTP voice media is going to completely bypass the RSBC30. Not only does that defeat a huge part of the proxy's purpose, but it literally means your call log interface will be totally empty later on. You won't be able to see a single thing about the voice stream. So flip that RTP proxy to Yes. All right, let's pivot and talk security for a second. Still under that Advanced menu, you'll find the Security Management interface. This is where you enable administrative access protocols like Telnet and SSH. But a quick word of caution here. Enabling these services can cause security issues if you just leave them unchecked. The absolute best practice is to only turn them on when you actively need to do deep maintenance and then disable them immediately after. Just don't leave the back door open. So to really lock down administrative access, the RSB30 uses some pretty strict whitelist management. You can specify up to 30 exact IP addresses that are allowed to access the web GUI or telnet.
And note, that's exact IPs, no IP segments allowed here. Also keep in mind, the telnet service has to be enabled first for its whitelist to actually work, and any whitelist changes you make require a full device restart to apply. Oh, and whatever you do, do not leave the whitelist entirely empty, because if you do, it defaults to allowing all IPs. That completely defeats the purpose.
And boom, just like that, major milestone achieved. Your network is properly routed, your SIP servers are talking, and access is locked down tight. Now, let's transition over and see how we actually monitor all this activity. Jumping over to the Statistics tab, the Online Devices section shows you exactly who is currently logged in to the web GUI. You'll see their IP address along with a permission level number. A 1 means they are the first administrator with full config rights. A 2 means they are a view-only operator. But interestingly, if a second administrator logs in, which is marked by a 3, they're restricted to view-only mode until the first admin actually logs out. It's a really smart safeguard to prevent any conflicting config changes. Next up in stats is the call log. This is where you can monitor active calling info in real time. You'll see the local port, call ID, gateway IP, the whole shebang. And hey, remember what I was stressing earlier? This incredibly valuable data is only visible to you right now because we made sure to enable that RTP proxy back in the advanced settings. If that was off, this screen would literally just be a blank white box.
Then there's the basic statistics section. I love this view because it gives you a fantastic high-level pulse on the system's overall health. You can track your system uptime, check the number of currently online gateways, and monitor your total call counters and call durations for the last day. It even logs if there's been a SIP server change, which is awesome for verifying if your heartbeat failover actually had to kick in while you were getting a coffee. Now, as much as we all hope for flawless operations forever, let's be real, network gremlins happen. When a fault does pop up and you can reproduce it, you are going to need to capture a detailed Level 4 log for your support engineers. Here is exactly how you pull that off. So here's the drill. First, go under Managing Log, crank that log level all the way up to 4 and hit Save. Next, head over to your call messages and clear the log out so you're starting with a completely clean slate. Third, trigger your test call to reproduce the specific fault. Finally, head right back to Managing Log and hit Download. And just like that, you have a perfectly isolated diagnostic file ready for the support team. To wrap up our technical tour here, let's take a quick look at the Tools menu. This is your hub for day-to-day maintenance essentials. It's where you go to change that default admin password we used at the start, which, by the way, you absolutely must do. From here, you can also restore factory settings if you ever need to wipe the slate clean, export and import your config data for backups, easily upgrade your firmware, and manually restart the device to apply things like those strict whitelist rules we talked about. So from that initial login all the way to advanced troubleshooting, you've now got a really solid handle on what the RSBC30 can do. With your SBC now fully deployed, secured, and monitored, how will you utilize its powerful proxy and automatic failover features to create a truly bulletproof communications network? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and happy configuring!